Well, hey, y'all. Long time no see. It's been a while, right? As of the date of recording, this is February 10th, so I don't think I've made a video since before Christmas time, and, I've been a little busy. But I wanted to talk today about the big Eliza Morthland scandal. Eliza Cuts, Eliza Seeps, Eliza Blue, Eliza whatever she is. Look, guys, this is, as people said, Jack Murphy type incident. It's like a Carlin Borisenko type incident. This is the internet. This is the grift, right? The grift not being, I need to make money because I'm doing this thing and it's my living. No, the grift is, I'm going to stir up a controversy and then make me the center of it, and therefore, victim or whatever, give me attention, give me fame, I'm going to help people out. That's the grift, right? The grift is essentially creating a problem and then being the solution for it. Now, Eliza didn't create the problem of sex trafficking, but she did create the problem of digital sex trafficking, her image basically being, if you didn't trademark, if you don't have, the rights to her image, a trademark of her image, despite it being public, then you can't use it, and that's trafficking. And folks, this is not trafficking. Let me tell you, I had a girlfriend some years ago, a long time ago, over a decade ago, who was an absolute narcissist, and I was too dumb and broken and naive to understand at the time. And she would say similar things, that using her image, anytime I took a photograph of her, she'd be like, you have to call my agent if you want, if you want to post that up, and I'll allow it. Nonsense. Absolute nonsense. That's not how those things work. And this particular individual made up many lies about her past that ended up not being true. So, what is going on here? Well, if you ask me, everyone has pointed out that Eliza's a clout chaser. I don't believe that she was ever trafficked. I think she maybe had made some bad decisions. Maybe she helped sort of traffic people. Maybe she, as has been, hypothesized. But maybe more than anything, she's just seen it because she did act as an escort for some period of time. Because she did decide that she was going to do certain things for advantage and money. We know that she was on Blind Date. We know that she was, what was it, My Chemical Romance or whatever the band is. Not a fan of theirs, so I don't really know all the history there. But we know that she was a groupie for them. We know that she wanted to be famous, and all the way up until the COOF lockdowns, she was this personality. When I first saw her on Timcast, I watched her flirt openly with Tim and Ian, and I told my wife, this is weird. That's not how people who are actually victims of trafficking act. Like, if you were a victim of trauma of any sort, you do not act this way or that way. And you have moments of vulnerability, and you are willing to tell your story, which she is not. So there are all kinds of red flags there, and as she came back with the Andrew Tate stuff, no proof of anything. The other night, happened to catch a little bit of Chrissy Mayer's Simpcast, where she had Ashton Birdie on. You might recall Ashton Birdie had a YouTube channel some years ago, was quite popular in the conservative kind of spheres, and then she kind of disappeared. Sure, probably because she was a young woman who had personal things going on as it goes. And guys, running a channel is not that easy. Life gets in the way unless you're actually making money on your content and you're able to monetize it and do it all the time. This can be your job. It's hard to keep up a channel, you have stuff going on in life. But in any case, Ashton said she put someone in contact with Eliza who was a trafficking victim of the Tates. Now, I don't believe that the Tates trafficked anybody. That's neither here nor there. Seems right now that the evidence against the Tates has to do with this Eliza Blue kind of idea of things. I regretted a decision I made of my own recognizance, and thus I was trafficked. Because that, my friends, is really what's going on here. That is the left-wing perspective of things. I regret something, therefore I'm going to redefine it to my terms. This is the narcissism, right? The psychopathology, I'm always saying, that is being instituted by these systems of conformity, these systems of socialism, these systems that are set up to basically make you a cult of one. And that's what this is. That's what all of it is. So Eliza Blue set a cult up around herself, literally. And so she has people protecting her and whatever else, yet no proof of trafficking, yet will not go to those people, will not tell the story of those people. I watched Brittany Venti cover this lady who was trafficked by her husband, 17 years old, starts playing, or starts practicing jiu-jitsu and Muay Thai with some 30-some-odd-year-old guy. Of course, she was in a regular class, but starts rolling with this 30-some-odd-year-old guy regularly. They start going out outside of this. Her dad is a vet, retired. This guy's a war hero from Iraq or Afghanistan or something that she's hanging out with. Her dad approves them getting married while they're 17. Next thing you know, he starts introducing porn, starts introducing her to swinging, double penetration, all kinds of crazy stuff. And turns out the guy's bisexual as well. And all at the same time trying to put up a Christian front. She is very detailed in all this. She does get trafficked by this gentleman, if you can call him that. Eliza has no such story. She can come after me all she wants. There's no liability here because she can't prove anything. She's a fake and a phony. And I can't show you the pictures of her World Star stuff that everyone's seen now, but, I downloaded that when the controversy started. So did everyone else. The proof isn't going away. She calls the Streisand effect. She did the same thing Murphy did. This is what these people do. These charlatans do. Because they don't know actually how to handle life and reality. Eliza's father was contacted, who is a state senator or congressman, and specifically said, well, if she says that I can talk to you, then I will talk to you. Simple things like releasing the tax receipts, where the money's gone to, the proceeds, there's all kinds of stuff. But more importantly, this isn't about Eliza. Guys, this is a bigger, deeper thing. This is about how this continues, this pattern continues, and how susceptible people are because we are so willing to want voices to be on our side. And not everyone could vet. I know Chrissy Mayer was talking about over and over again how terrible she felt about platforming her, how she got duped. But why wouldn't you bring her up? Why wouldn't you bring her in? Why wouldn't you talk to her? If you feel like you're doing the right thing and a good thing, and all these people are vouching for her. This isn't a question of vetting. This is a question of instinct and gut. And when you watch someone like her or Jack Murphy and they say these certain things, and they're the right things, or even Carlin Borisenko before, she went off on the deep end. She was always on the deep end, mind you. But again, the pattern of behavior is the same. All these people, excuse me, all these people are on the left. They were on the left and they still are, and they're pretending not to be. So in Carlin's case, she's now a libertarian. Well, unfortunately, the Libertarian Party does not do itself justice because it keeps recruiting people like her into it. Jack Murphy was from the left and never left the left. Wasn't smart enough to delete and purge his Chatterbait account. Neither was Eliza. These are rookie, simple mistakes. I'm sure I probably have some stuff out there that maybe I'm not proud of, and in my past that I'm not proud of. Probably nothing that bad, really. But more like maybe I said something that I don't believe anymore, or whatever. We all change, we all grow, we all go through things. It's not the same. saying that I was trafficked while you're shaking your booty and basically wearing a fishnet top where you can see your breast exposed, and I mean, you can practically see the girl's, well, all of her intimate areas, we'll put it that way. Doing that, and then doing that in multiple videos, mind you, and then suggesting that you were trafficked. Well, maybe you were. Maybe you were drugged. Maybe you were trafficked. Whatever. You can explain that, but you didn't. So the red flags come out. Plain and simple. And before that, like I said, first time I saw Eliza, and I've mentioned Eliza on here many times. Hey, follow Eliza. And I think one of the last videos I made before I took my break was, sex trafficking is a real thing. Check out Eliza Blue. Well, whatever she does. Supposedly she does something. Because I'm pretty sure I've said it on here before. She was questionable to me. And now we know why. And why was she questionable to me? Because of how she acted. Just like when people question Jack Murphy and his son. Why would you say, well, his son has to just join the world? His son, he wants to play baseball. He's gotta get the jab. It's like, do you believe that strongly? The jab is not good for him, but for him to conform to the world? Well, my friend, that's taking the mark. That's what that is. See, for thousands of years, everyone's obfuscated what the mark is. The mark is simple, folks. It's being the world. You are called to be better than the world. And you got to be careful with these people, because this is time and again in memoriam, right? The scriptures even teach of this, that you must be aware of these certain charlatans that say words that are vain and pleasing to the ear. They're flattering to individuals. And because of that, well, people want to just accept. They just want to accept because that person made me feel good. And this is how all manipulators work. So going back to my narcissist girlfriend from 10 years ago, a decade ago, that's exactly what it was. I was down on my luck of sorts. I actually was doing pretty well. I had like 10 grand saved in the bank and had my own place. And, I think I just bought a new car. And I was actually doing really good. But it was right after I had split from my ex-wife. And, I was in a rocky spot with my family and a bunch of other stuff. And here was this woman who was able to take advantage of that state of mind at that time, when I was let's call myself a weaker man at the time, because I certainly was. And she was able to use that to manipulate me. And part of her manipulation of me was building me up. Telling me that, I was talented, I was intelligent, that I was, attractive, all of those things. And those are the things I needed to hear after I'd been torn down for years. And this is what these people do. So if you're a victim of something and someone comes to you and builds you up, it's very easy for them to take advantage. And we must be very mindful. We must raise our brothers and sisters up, because you are your brother's keeper, my friend. And you will be judged based on how you keep your brothers and sisters. And the movement, the right, whatever you want to call it, the liberty movement really needs to learn this. The infighting is going to happen. I could address Project Veritas probably, because my wife and I have discussed this. Those of you who have watched me for a while know she used to work for Veritas. There are things there. Maybe I'll make another video. But what I will say is that we don't need to be infighting. We need to be building up. But what we absolutely have to do is ensure that we are coming from an appropriate place of giving, and not some place like the Eliza Blues, the Jack Murphys, and the Carlin Borisenkos come from. Carlin Borisenko, who claims to be an anti-bullying specialist, who is probably one of the biggest bullies I have ever seen on the interwebs. So anyways, that's 15 minutes of me ranting. You get 15 minutes after a month and a half, 6 weeks, 8 weeks, however long it's been. This has been All Minus One. My name is Bill, and I wish you well.